fine if you perhaps join the alumni association and keep a little bit contact with your own alma mater. And the second thing is that I have already placed my handwriting on the Dutch and English book. You also have to sign on both sides here and here, please. Maybe you want to sit down or something. Looks like the director of Bank Indonesia. Ministry of Finance. Drawing. Good. Then we put it into this round box, that you can keep it for the rest of your life. I thought that Servaas, who was your most intensive supervisor, to say something.
I would like to say a few words to Yugi, just to congratulate him with his achievement. Probably you all know his history. Yugi came to Delft to study in the EDA program. He took a number of economics courses and he got interested very much in economics and economic policy. So much so that for his thesis he decided to focus, well, he took in a lot of institutional analysis, but the biggest part of his thesis was in economics, was macroeconomics. And that is a very courageous step. Courageous in the sense that Yugi, not being an economist, took one of the most contentious topics, the IT inflation targeting model, as his subject, as his thesis subject. So this required quite some courage, and Yugi had the courage. Same time, and he worked with me during the last 5-6 months, and he has worked well, and the thesis is a very nicely well-structured product, which has strong policy relevance for Indonesia as well. We all liked his work, your work. We all were happy with it. I can also say, and maybe you are all friends of Yugi, and you have known him. You have seen him working on the thesis. Probably you've also noticed that during these 5-6 months, Yugi at various places felt quite insecure. Not being an economist and then trying to make big statements about what the Indonesian central bank should do or should not do. So Yugi but we were all very happy to see that you have grown into your role and that you are now standing on much, at least you make the impression that you are standing on much firmer ground. With your not only critique but also encouragement, like please look at employment and please not overemphasize the importance of strict inflation targeting, because there is also, as you very rightly say, this real economy outside with people, the working people, and there's also a thing called labor cost. I mean, inflation targeting has also this impact on investment, productivity, etc. So this is something which affects real firms, real workers, and that has to be taken into account. I think that is basically your message, and I am convinced, personally I'm convinced, that this is a very important message for the Indonesian policymakers. I'm also very happy with your statement during your presentation that you are a technocratic nationalist and that the people in the audience are also technocratic nationalists, because why am I happy with this? Because if you look at the world, if you look at what has happened during the last 2 centuries, not 20 years, but 200 years, the only countries in the world growing very rapidly relative to the rich countries in the world, the only countries, that is a handful of Asian countries. And all these countries were governed by technocratic nationalists. So whatever the IMF says, whatever the World Bank says, it is only countries governed by technocratic nationalists which have managed to really improve welfare. Most other countries haven't, all other countries have not managed. So in a way, it is not a sufficient condition, but it is a necessary condition. The necessary condition is policymakers should be technocratic nationalists. And if you all belong to this school, and you then I think Indonesia
bright future for Indonesia.
Then Indonesia will have a bright future. And also, I mean, something which struck me, which I also want to say, is that Yubi really, from the outset, has always been, I mean, the impression, he is very much concerned about the Indonesian economy, and that is something which I also appreciate a lot. The fact that people are really concerned about society and their economy, employment, poverty, etc. So what I hope, and what I also expect, but what I hope is that you will be able to work further on this in Indonesia and really make an impact on the Indonesian policy debate. That is something which I hope very strongly. So that is what I wanted to say. So I'm very happy with the topic, with the way it has been done, and also with the result. And I also have expectations, which I maybe should not say, but I cannot. I think you will make, it's necessary to make some impact on the monetary policy debate in developing countries, especially also in Indonesia. So it's a good thing. Thank you. Thank you.
So we can declare the session.